Well, he deserves
whatever he gets.
whatever comes with it.
What if I told you a 22-year-old NFL rookie just poured over $4.5 million into the hands of the same woman who once ignored his messages and called him ugly? Travis Hunter's so-called love story might actually be the priciest gold digger play in sports history, and the receipts are now out in the open. Welcome to the $4.5 million mistake. We've seen plenty of athletes throw money away, but this case feels different. It's a step-by-step playbook of financial manipulation, and every move has been documented in real time. At the center of it all, Jacksonville Jaguars rookie phenom Travis Hunter, Heisman winner, two-way star, and now the subject of non-stop headlines about his wife, Lyanna Len. The phrase "he gave millions to a gold digger" didn't come from nowhere. Social media has tracked her behavior for months, and the pattern is impossible to ignore. What makes this story even crazier is the one decision that left experts across the country speechless. Hunter got married with no prenup right after signing a $46.6 million deal, including a $30.5 million signing bonus. And because the couple lives in Florida, that single mistake could cost him half his entire fortune if the marriage collapses. Even veteran voices in the industry couldn't believe it. John Cleat reacted instantly to Hunter's choice.
Well, speaking of prenups, Travis Hunter just got married after getting drafted. No prenup.
Well, he deserves
Whatever he gets.
whatever comes with it.
The weight of this situation didn't go unnoticed by the legal world. Celebrity divorce lawyer James Stone was so rattled by Hunter's choices that he offered free prenups to the entire 2025 NFL draft class, pointing directly to Hunter's case as the ultimate warning sign. Just think about that. A top attorney was so shocked that he literally gave away his services to protect other young stars from repeating the same disaster. But skipping that's only the surface. The real story is the lavish trail of gifts Hunter has poured into this relationship, a paper trail that looks more like a billionaire's shopping spree than normal romance. We're not talking about flowers or small surprises. This is a systematic transfer of wealth, already totaling over $4.50 million. It began with a $100,000 engagement ring in early 2024 and spiraled from there. At the wedding, Hunter stunned Len with a Mercedes-Benz AMG G63 Brabus 800 worth around $611,000. To put that in perspective, one gift equaled what many people won't make in an entire career. The viral clip of that reveal pulled millions of views, split between fans who were amazed and critics who were horrified, and it didn't stop. Next came her so-called dream car, a Tesla Model X worth another $100,000, complete with a tearful unboxing video. But even those tears sparked debate. Were they genuine or just for show? Then Hunter doubled down, dropping $500,000 on a custom luxury truck, add in high-end jewelry and designer pieces estimated at another $600,000. And you've already hit that jaw-dropping $4.5 million figure. The biggest move of all, a $3.275 million mansion in Jacksonville's ultra-exclusive Deerwood Country Club to 13 rooms, a pool, a tennis court, sitting on 7.5 acres, technically a joint purchase, but mostly funded by Hunter's signing bonus, meaning this asset could easily become a battlefield in any divorce case. What makes all these gifts more alarming isn't just their value, but their timing. Every major present lined up with Hunter's career milestones. The engagement ring, as his draft stock rose, the luxury wedding right after his Heisman win, an NFL selection, and the mansion immediately after signing his pro contract. The correlation is too sharp to ignore. Critics point out that while Len has given gifts back like a Rolex worth, maybe $30,000 to $70,000, they don't even scratch the surface of what she's received. And many believe those reciprocations were ultimately paid for with Hunter's own money, carefully staged to look mutual. The risk doesn't end there. Florida's divorce laws mean that everything earned during the marriage, NFL salary, endorsements, future deals could all be divided. With a contract pushing $47 million and endorsement potential in the tens of millions more, the exposure is astronomical. And remember, Hunter is only 22 years old, just starting what could be a decade-long career. The choices he makes now about protecting his wealth will decide whether he builds a dynasty or loses half of it before his prime even begins. No wonder financial advisors across sports are already using his story as a cautionary tale. The story takes an even sharper turn when you realize just how public every step of this relationship has been. Unlike most celebrity couples who keep finances private, Hunter and Len have put their gift exchanges on display across social media. That constant exposure hasn't just fueled speculation about Len's motives, it's created a permanent digital record that could one day be used against them in court. And here's the truth. That $4.5 million mistake was only the beginning. The real question isn't just about what he's already spent. It's about how a rising NFL star ended up in a position where he could lose half of everything he'll ever earn. To understand that, we need to rewind to the relationship itself, its timeline, and the red flags people claim were visible from day one. Red flags. Everyone saw coming Hunter's romance with Len didn't start like a fairy tale. It began with what many now consider the very first warning sign. The two started dating in 2022 back in Georgia, but their origin story reveals a pattern that still haunts their relationship. In a December 2024 podcast, Hunter himself admitted that Len ignored his Instagram DMs for months. What finally made her respond wasn't love, it was her brother's push. After recognizing Hunter as a rising football prospect, her brother told her, "You don't know who this is. He's going to be big." Soon after, Len replied, "This detail matters because it set a precedent." Len's interest seemed to rise in step with Hunter's profile and potential earnings. Critics say this was the first sign of opportunism, not affection. As Hunter's college career exploded at Colorado, so did the scrutiny on Len. By late 2024, she was facing cheating allegations, with viral clips surfacing of her partying with other men while Hunter waited outside. These weren't vague rumors, they came with photo and video evidence, including images of her dancing closely with men and even lying in bed with them. What made these leaks especially disturbing was the strategy behind them. One man admitted he sat on the content, waiting until Hunter became a household name before cashing in, even going so far as to sell merchandise featuring the photos. That cold, calculated move proved that multiple people saw Hunter's fame as a payday. The toll on Hunter was devastating. Public attacks on Len led her to heavy drinking and late-night breakdowns. Hunter himself admitted, "She drank an OD amount tonight. I can't even help her," instead of questioning the red flags. He doubled down on defending her, a sign of the psychological grip she had over him. Then came the 2024 Heisman Trophy ceremony, which turned into a viral flashpoint. As Hunter's name was announced, the crowd erupted but Len stayed seated, stone-faced, as if unmoved by his historic achievement. It took Coach Deion Sanders nudging her before she reluctantly stood. For many, that moment said everything they'd been suspecting about her true feelings. Social media lit up, with popular commentator DJ Academics breaking down the body language and calling out the deeper issues in their relationship. His analysis echoed what thousands online were already thinking. The red flags were impossible to ignore.
Yo, why does always look like he walked off the set of Alien vs. Predator, man? Which, like, it's like he's wearing a natural, like, is this the alien mask or the Predator mask? I can't tell. I ain't gonna cap with you. Like, this was a video that, you know, made me say, yo, I think y'all owe that girl an apology. If she gotta wake up to that face every day, leave her alone.
Academics' commentary was, as always, provocative, but this time, he touched on something that thousands of people agreed with. He pointed out some troubling patterns hidden within Travis and Len's relationship dynamics, patterns that later became increasingly clear to everyone.
Now, I see everybody watching this podcast too much. Yo, hopefully, you know what I mean? Hopefully, like, he protected his assets. I heard people having these conversations about the prenup and this and third. We not his financial advisor, man. Like, I don't know why people are so concerned with.
The engagement happened in February 2024, right when Hunter's draft stock was at its peak. The wedding was scheduled for May 2025, immediately after the draft, but just before his contract signing. The timing was so precise that many called it a calculated move, securing legal claims to Hunter's wealth before he could rethink or seek proper legal protection. Perhaps the biggest red flag was the absence of a especially as Hunter's career milestones consistently turned into luxury gift milestones. Every major achievement, winning the Heisman Trophy, being drafted into the NFL, or signing a multi-million-dollar contract was quickly followed by another extravagant gesture. The engagement itself coming at a time when everyone was advising caution, deep in suspicion that Len may have deliberately discouraged Hunter from seeking legal counsel, and the red flags weren't confined to the relationship alone. Critics pointed out how Len's family became increasingly involved step by step, starting with her brother, then other family members appearing more often as Hunter's wealth grew. To many, this looked less like natural romance and more like a coordinated strategy. The public reaction was immediate and intense. Celebrities like Bow Wow openly called Len a gold digger. Rappers Cameron and Ma Dollar criticized Hunter on their podcast for marrying without a prenup. Even his mentor, Deion Sanders, had long warned in general about the dangers of gold diggers' warnings. Hunter chose to ignore in his own case. What shocked many most was Hunter's own defense of Len. He said, "She brings value to me. She makes me money, and she makes her own money. If she's a gold digger, then I'm a gold digger too." While emotionally understandable, this defense completely missed the critics' point. The imbalance of power and finances in the relationship down in December 2024. Len uploaded a video denying gold digger claims, saying she deleted social media because of hate. Yet her statements often seemed more like calculated damage control than genuine answers to the real concerns. Then came the wedding, a ceremony that looked more like a financial spectacle than a romantic celebration. Held at the barn at Faith Farms in Athens, Tennessee, with 250 guests, the gifts alone totaled over $1 million. Too many? It felt less like love and more like a display of wealth. Soon after, divorce rumors exploded. By July 2025, just weeks after the wedding, an old TikTok of Len crying resurfaced. At the same time, unverified claims circulated that she was demanding a $40 million divorce settlement. The irony: none of these red flags were hidden. They were well documented on social media with a clear timeline. If this marriage does end, the public record will itself serve as a step-by-step playbook of manipulation. But by then, Hunter's financial damage may already be irreversible. And all of this unfolded just as Hunter's professional journey was beginning. On April 25, 2025, he lived his dream when the Jacksonville Jaguars traded up to select him with the second overall pick. But now the real question is, can Hunter stay focused on his career, or will personal drama derail his NFL journey? What should have been the proudest night of his young career was clouded by the financial and personal chaos that had been brewing with Lyanna Len. Still, draft night itself was a showcase of why the Jaguars were willing to trade serious draft capital just to get him. Hey Travis, this is James Gladstone with the Jacksonville Jaguars. How you doing? The moment was raw. Hunter's excitement could be felt through the screen as he realized the Jaguars were moving up from pick 5 to pick 2 for him. Yes sir, that's the best decision. I love it, he said, his voice shaking with adrenaline. Head coach Liam Cohen jumped in, reinforcing the organization's faith. Unbelievable opportunity, bro. We're going to get this thing rolling. You're going to do great things. The Jaguars' gamble was historic. Hunter became not only the highest drafted cornerback ever, but also the first wide receiver to go in the top 2 since Calvin Johnson in 2007. Even more shocking, he was announced at both offense and defense, something never before seen in NFL draft history. Despite the personal storms brewing off the field, Hunter's poise in front of the cameras was undeniable. Asked about his emotions, he grinned. I'm just super excited. You know, I get to go back home, somewhere I wanted to play. I'm just glad they picked me. The moment wasn't just emotional, it was financial. His rookie deal, for years, $46.65 million with a $30.6 million signing bonus. But because he had just married weeks after the draft without a prenuptial agreement, that entire windfall was immediately vulnerable. At his first press conference, Hunter came across as humble and hungry. Asked about keeping a 4.0 GPA in college, he replied, "It's just a mindset. I want to be the best at everything I do. I don't want anybody a step ahead of me." His confidence carried over when posed with a hypothetical matchup against himself. It's 4th and 7, me at wideout versus me at corner. I'm winning that. The Jaguars staff also showed their hand, promising to maximize his rare two-way talent. "We have to be fluid," Cohen said. "We've laid out the plan, but we need to adapt day by day." But as training camp began, cracks showed. Insiders leaked that personal stress was creeping into his preparation. By his preseason debut on August 9, 2025, against the Steelers, the world got its first glimpse. Playing 18 to 19 snaps, split between offense and defense. The results were mixed. On offense, he grabbed 2 short passes for 9 yards, one wiped out by penalty. On defense, he wasn't targeted but missed a tackle that went viral when Steelers RB Caleb Johnson bulldozed him with a stiff arm. Afterward, Hunter admitted the nerves. "I was shaky at first, but after that first snap, it felt great." Still, critics latched on to the highlight reel stiff arm as proof that his off-field drama was bleeding into his game. On ESPN, analysts struck a cautious tone. One praised his versatility but added, "This isn't college. You can't play 30 defensive snaps and 40 offensive snaps every week. It's never been done. It'll shorten his career." As his rookie season wore on, the noise only got louder. Divorce rumors swirled. Whispers of Len demanding $40 million in settlement put Hunter in an impossible bind. One of the NFL's most promising young players, trying to balance a historic two-way role while staring down one of the costliest divorces in sports, the situation rippled beyond his own career. Agents and financial advisors began using his story as a cautionary tale, pushing prenups harder than ever. Even celebrity attorney James Stone went viral offering free prenups to the entire 2025 draft class, all because of Hunter. The question looming wasn't about talent. Hunter's skill was undeniable. The real question: could a 22-year-old under unprecedented personal and financial pressure stay focused enough to fulfill his potential? Every misstep would be magnified, every decline in performance scrutinized, and with potentially half his career earnings at stake. The stakes weren't just professional, they were existential. As the 2025 season unfolded, Hunter's story became a chilling reminder of how personal decisions can derail even the brightest careers. The man who should have been remembered as a once-in-a-generation two-way talent now risked becoming the face of one of sports' most expensive cautionary tales. The ultimate question wasn't whether Travis Hunter had the ability to succeed, it was whether he could survive the chaos surrounding him long enough to prove it.